say games are played on the field and not on paper, and that's a good thing. Because if this one were played on paper, it might get ugly. But you never know what's going to happen. Welcome to the home of the Penn State Nittany Lions, Beaver Stadium in State College, Pennsylvania. As we'll see a squad from the Big Ten, the Oregon Ducks, taking on the 25th ranked team in the land, the Penn State Nittany Lions. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. The Ducks will kick it away to start. And he's going to try to return this one. He stopped at the 23, a couple of yards short of where he would have been with a touchback. So the Penn State Nittany Lions offense will go on the attack first. And they're going to be met by one of the best defenses in the nation, David. And I know seeing a defense doing what they want, when they want to do it, makes you a happy man.
Well, defense is starting to make a comeback. Like, I'm excited about this new era of football. Like, we're seeing better tackling and we're seeing better coverage than we were a couple years ago. And this defense is fun to watch them on tape, fun to talk to their coaches. Jesse, this defense has been consistent all year long.
And they're dialed in, and they're so talented. They've got multiple NFL draft picks on that side of the football, and they don't have to change a lot week to week. This defense dominates. They do what they do, and they don't care if you know it. You can't do anything against them.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Wants to go up top. Here's a heat. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. Let's take just a second and talk about Penn State. They've jumped to the top of the conference standings. Now the trick is finding a way to stay there.
Well, and that's your goal to start the season. It's always about the conference first. It's not about the national championship.
He'll take the deep shot. And he makes the catch inside the 25. 3rd down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
Yeah, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
And the Nittany Lions come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Hand off to the lone back. Got enough space. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Nittany Lions.
And every team has their script, and they want to get the game off on this foot, and they want to make sure that they have balance and get these plays in and assert the line of scrimmage. Run the football, and they do. They create the explosive run, and they open this football game with a touchdown.
And he puts through the extra point. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Ducks offense taking the field. First chance we have to see them today. And they're going to have to contend with a secondary that is one of the best in the nation, Jesse.
And they're a complete secondary, too. When you watch them on film, they're very good defending the pass and coverage, and they can play man and zone. But I like them, David, because they're not afraid to put their face in the fan. Everybody in the back end likes to tackle and likes to be physical. That's what makes them special.
Yeah, and it's just an elite group in the back end. Multiple guys that win their individual matchups, which makes it hard to run offense. And this is a group that, yes, they tackle well, they see the football well, they break on it well. You better worry about the ground game. You better get some kind of deception going against this secondary.
Got his man downfield. This new Big Ten is balanced and deep, and you're not going to get many mulligans. You're going to need to get off to a quick start.
And it's going to be a physical grind ahead. You look at the schedule for these teams. It's brutal. Each and every week, you're going to get tested. So it's important they get off to a really fast start. They've got to come out, pick everything they did on the practice field this offseason, and let these guys go play.
Yeah, and you got to let it rip, man, because that's always your first goal, right? We talk about conference championships, winning your conference, and then it gets you to where you need to go. So looking forward to getting conference play kicked off in the Big Ten.
This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit. All right, guys, let's think big picture for Oregon. Great pickup on the defensive front. 3-star defensive lineman gives a verbal commitment last week, and you really need to bring good talent into the program. Maybe diamonds in the rough. At this level, that's how they thrive.
Oh, there's no doubt. And just some of these guys, they're not as refined, but they've got the tools, right? And so I think he's got the tools, and this is a guy that you can build around on that defensive line. You need all the big bodies you can get.
Boy, if they don't convert this 4th down, there will be questions to be answered. Going for the marker on the ground. Fights off the defender. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Opening play of the drive from the 39. They'll run it behind the big guys on the left. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones. D linemen staying in their gaps. Linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking to fire. Finds the tight end. So an example of a tight end doing a little unheralded work to set up a much better 3rd down situation.
And I like the QB here, Reese. I like the decision where I understand, let's get this football out, let's get some positive yards, and then get to 3rd down, and we can still have a better situation now because we got rid of the football and took the yards that were there.
The Nittany Lions come to the line trying to find a way to convert on 3rd and very short. Looking to throw for it. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, after giving up that touchdown on the opening drive, they had a little bit of a come to Jesus with their defensive coordinator on the sideline. I don't know what he said, but he, I think, just invoked the fear of God into this defense because this 3-and-out has been sensational, dominant. This is the way they've got to play moving forward.
They're in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, and this is why you square your prominent jawline and go straight ahead to get it. They'll run the option. Oh, he's got some space. And he'll take it to the house. He got loose. Touchdown, Penn State.
Man, you've seen the evolution of the option, and you've seen the evolution with scrambling quarterbacks that can run and be so dynamic and just so much to defend. The quarterback says, forget that. You defend everything, I'll take it myself. In for 6.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point makes it 14-0. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
All right, guys, got a final score on one of the more intriguing games this week. Marshall was anything but dominant, but the Thundering Herd are going to leave this stadium today winners. A lot to work on, no question, but they avoid one in the L column. Guys, I look at the preseason coaches poll and compare it to where the Sun Belt is right now, and man, what a difference.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
And the quarterback couldn't withstand the heat, and he will go down as we've played one quarter. We've come to the end of the quarter, and it's Penn State on top. They largely dominated this first quarter as indicated by the stats. Just about ready to get things started here in the second. We'll see if they continue to flex that muscle. So they go back to work after the break, and it is third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the big fella. He gets it out to the 28-yard line, not enough to pick up the first down. And the Ducks line up to punt it away. They'll have to boot it away for the first time tonight. And he'll work his way on the return out to the 35-yard line before he's stopped. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. They've already put a couple of scores up, and they look to add to it on this drive.
Ready, set. 6-9-1, Gator score. Set,
To the ground with the back. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7.
And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
They go to the ground. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And that run really didn't go anywhere, and a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football.
And that's such a great job of seeing the play, seeing it unfold, breaking on the football, making the interception, and you will absolutely never forget getting that first career INT, that big play, that big moment.
And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. We'll see if they can be a little more productive this time around. A 3-and-out the last time they had the ball. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5. The Ducks want to pick up the tempo.
And that wasn't a big gain, but look at the offense. Right back on the ball, ready to call a play, ready to go fast.
Trying play action. Just too much heat that time, and they knock him down at the 31. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. He'll loft one deep down the left side. Catch inside the 25. Seizing that open space, an opportunity all the way inside the red zone. They'll mark it at the 19. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. Hauls it in. That completion will take it close to the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 6.
Well, and a nice job working the middle of the field. I think it's so important to keep defenses honest, and you can't just dink and dunk outside. You got to work the middle. Great job finding this wide receiver over the middle of the field.
Fires to the end zone. Touchdown, Ducks! Quick strike through the air for the score.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not. So being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
And after the extra point, they've cut the lead in half, down 14-7. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Last drive ended with a pick, but you still have to attack through the air. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. The option look. Now the toss. Got enough for the first. And a big play there on the option. The pitch was executed perfectly. And the Nittany Lions move the change with some signature hard-nosed running.
Some Big Ten physicality, some Big Ten running the football. Gotta have it. Gotta start with that when you're in the Big Ten and when you're at Penn State.
One big play, and now they've got it at the 42-yard line on first down. And they're able to shove him to the turf as they stop him for a short gain. They'll take this lead to the 2-minute timeout and see if they can tack on a little more before the break. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Quarterback making adjustments. To the air on 2nd down. Complete to the left. They're ripping off chunks of yardage. They get it to the 33.
How about this offense? They're rolling. They got a couple first downs together. Defense. Next, what's your response? What do you got? You got to make some adjustments here.
The Nittany Lions will snap it on 1st and 10. On the move. And they'll bring him to the ground after a short gain.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
Pocket breaking down. And they won't be able to connect downfield, looking for a big-time play. Man, that one is going to make this quarterback sick to his stomach. That's almost always automatic for him.
Yeah, that's pitch and catch. That's day one. When you go out and watch practice, the ball very rarely hits the ground unless you have a defender because these QBs and wide receivers are so good. But, man, just a mishap, a little overthrow.
They get him down, but this offense is set up 1st and goal from the 9. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. The Nittany Lions trying to cash it in on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the half. Trying to bull his way in. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening.
Well, a short completion setting up 3rd down now. Who is your best playmaker that you can target in this area of the field?
They've worked it down to the 4-yard line, but now it's 3rd and goal. Leaves it with the running back. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
But after getting stuffed on that run, you now have got 4th down. I'm not into chasing points this early in the game. I think you just take the field goal. You try to pay this drive off and this opportunity to put something on the board, David.
Well, and nowadays you have these analytical cards, and the coaches, they literally look at every situation. Is it more advantageous to go for it or kick it? That's how they'll make this decision.
It's good. He hit that one right down the middle. And they'll push that lead out a little further.
And I like the way this defense just finished. And I know they're trailing, but they didn't give up the touchdown. Got a little bit of momentum. Not much time left in this first half, but you got halftime to make some adjustments, come out with some energy, but a nice stop here.
That late in the half field goal always gives you a little boost going to the locker room, and they'll need to finish off these final few seconds and not allow them to answer. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Inside 30 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how aggressive they are on this drive. They'll go to the ground. And he is swarmed under a host of defenders there to make the stop. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
Guys, one of the best environments in the game, and Happy Valley has given us a fun first half. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today. And with that, let's send it back to the guys inside Beaver Stadium.
Thanks for that breakdown, Kevin. The Nittany Lions will kick it away to crank up the second half. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Maybe adjustments or attitude adjustments, but they've got to find a way to run the ball at least some here in the second half.
I do think you said something that's important. I think running the football is an attitude. Like, it starts with the offensive lineman and being physical, having a nasty attitude. Running back, same thing. I think they need more of that in the second half.
You know, and I think then if you're this defense, you have an opportunity to make a statement here. Yeah, I know you guys went in at halftime and you riled yourselves up and you told yourself that you think you can run the ball on us. On this very first drive, we're going to prove to you, just like in the first 30 minutes, you cannot.
The Ducks can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Back to pass. Right on the money. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch.
And that's a really good job by the QB, getting the ball out of his hands, knowing where the sticks are, getting the first down. And they saw something they liked because here they come, right back on the ball to run another play.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
This is a situation here in the third quarter this offense did not want to be in, facing a top 10 defense, one of the best units in the entire country. They didn't want to get down on the scoreboard like this and all of a sudden have to throw the football when the defense knew that was going to happen. The incompletion there is not a big surprise. This defense knows what's coming, and it's all because of the points right now on the scoreboard.
Now they'll run the draw. There is just nowhere to run. 3 straight times and not one single inch forward on any of them. And the Ducks decide to punt it away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Hauls it in and looking upfield. He's got great speed. No mid-season concentration laps here in Week 7 as they push out that lead. A dynamic, explosive return. The sliver of daylight exploding through it, just vaporizing and reappearing on the other side and housing it.
And punt returners are so quick. You can play touch football in an elevator with them and lose. You can't even get your hand on there. So quick, so elusive. Does such a great job making people miss, but still going full speed up the field to get all the way to the end zone and score the TD.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. So his big play capability was on full display in that one as he took that punt back for the touchdown. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. After giving up that score, now it's incumbent on this offense to kind of get a back and forth going, Jesse, in this game.
They got to put some points on the board here. There's obviously a lot of football to go, so it's not necessarily panic time just yet, but I'm getting the ball into the hands of my best playmakers on this drive.
I hear you, Jesse, but not panic time. Have you seen my defense? I mean, I'm not trusting them to get a lot of stops, so he puts a lot of pressure on this offense.
Ball is at the 35. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Zings it complete to the right. They've got it to the 49-yard line, and they'll move the chains.
Now, I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Yeah, and it's a nice job by this defense understanding, listen, that QB is a threat, and they're going to run all kinds of options, and he's going to run the football. They were dialed in and got that sucker to the ground.
The pull and throw off the RPO. Brought down at the 39 after a pickup of 10. It'll be a 1st down. The Ducks come to the line with a new set of downs. Wants to throw on 1st down. Unloads to the wideout. That's caught. It's Gage. Knocked down at the 24-yard line, but it's a big gain. 15 yards on the play, and this offense is in business. Inside the 25, they'll snap it from the 24. 1st down. Leaves it with the back. They finally get him stopped, and this veteran junior running back comes up with a nice play.
1st down, you know you always want to establish the running game. How about this offense? Nothing fancy. Run the football, be physical, get a big gain.
Trying to find the end zone. Good throw and catch. Takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in.
The offense trying to throw it there quickly down close to the goal line. Nice job by the defense tackling the catch.
The run up the middle, trying to power to the goal line. And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackle.
I got to be honest, I am shocked at just how well the defense has played in this game, especially stopping the run. We talked about statistically how they've struggled this season, but they have put the clamps down in this one, and they're just playing with a ton of intensity.
We've reached a break, and Penn State is on top. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. One more quarter to play, and it might be unlikely, but hey, it's college football. Comebacks happen. They'll try to open the quarter by cashing in on this big opportunity deep in the red zone. 3rd and goal, and they'll try to pass it in. Looking to the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon! Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now on game day.
And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. 76 yards on the drive for the touchdown. And the score comes on a 5-yard touchdown pass. And he's coming out of the end zone. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. That last drive was a long one, Jesse. They'd like this time to pay it off with a touchdown instead of a field goal.
No doubt, Reese. They had a lot of good stuff going that last drive. Need to get a tutty up on the board here to extend that lead, David.
And I think you definitely want a touchdown, but if you put another long drive together, get points, multiple possessions in a row, start to let those body blows add up and wear this defense out.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. The give to the back. He's out past the 35. Breaks into the open. The 20. Slippery slide. Find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Penn State. That score will give them a little more room to operate here in the fourth quarter as they go for their 6th straight win. You're not going to keep the lid on this guy forever. Sooner or later, he's going to get loose.
He is. He's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. I mean, this dude can make plays. That's why you keep feeding it to him, because at some point, he's going to break it loose and make a huge play.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point splits the uprights. That drive took no time at all. A couple of plays and finished it with a long run for the touchdown. Kickoff unit back to work, and they have been busy as they've built this sizable lead. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Looking downfield on first down. Quick completion on the out. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
Well, and here's the problem offensively. Because you're trailing by so much so late in the game, the defense now is going to be playing big zone coverages, and they're going to allow you to throw the ball underneath in the middle of the field, rally to make a tackle, and bleed the clock. It's going to be hard now for this offense to claw their way back in this one.
You got to like this defense, man. All game long, great job tackling the football. Like, you throw it on the perimeter, they're coming up. They're not giving the run after the catch to these receivers. A lot of times you see so much damage done after the catch. This defense has been dialed in, and the big play has been a non-issue.
Put it right on him. Sweet play, good pickup, and they'll move the chains with the first down.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that third down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
Wants to keep it in the air. Got his man.
It's always interesting how people handle late game. Like, you know this game is over. There's not a lot to gain from it, but some people try to throw the ball deep and continue to make plays. They throw it short. The clock's running out, and there's not a lot to talk about that's going to be positive for this offense.
They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down. Trying to cap this drive with the pass. And the throw down the gut falls to the grass. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Corner's right up on that line of scrimmage. Got his man on the right. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. Couldn't quite haul it in. They almost had their first pick here late in the game.
This late in the game in the fourth quarter, they're in four-down mode every single drive in possession, trailing by as much as they are. So down here in the red zone, you throw an incompletion, no-brainer. They're going to be throwing it again. Can the defense step up here and make a play?
They're throwing for it on fourth down. Touchdown, Ducks! Made the grab and took it on in for the score.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Lining up to add another. And the extra point is good, but they still trail 31-21. They put together a 74-yard touchdown drive, and they finish it up with a 15-yard scoring toss. They are running out of time here. They need to get the ball back. They'll line up for the onside kick. They're on it. They recover the onside kick, and they get it right back.
And there's still life in this team. Obviously, they're down here in the fourth quarter, but they're able to execute the onside kick. They retain possession, and now let's see what happens.
From the gun, running back on the move.
A nice job being gap sound by this defense. And here you go. Watch what this offense does. They'll get right back on the ball, and they'll go really quick, so you got to be prepared.
Second down, he'll throw it. Quarterback just flat missed it. Incomplete. These fans stepping up to help this defense on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a first down. This upset bid has been brewing since the start of the game, seemingly, and they are in a world of hurt at this moment, guys.
Yeah, keep the pedal to the floor, right? Don't let up. You've done a great job. You're the perceived underdog. You've taken control of this football game. Jesse, you got the formula right now. You got them right where you want.
Yeah, they've thrown caution to the wind in this game, right, David? I mean, they came in knowing they'd have to take some chances.
Just too much heat that time, and they knock him down at the 31. Clock stops, and we've reached the 2-minute timeout. This offense looking for anything to cut into this big lead. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. And he feels the heat coming, and it burns him up. Another sack. Down by multiple possessions. They can't come up empty on this drive in the fourth quarter. Lets it fly deep downfield. Incomplete on fourth down, and man, did they need to keep that drive alive. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. And now when you have a solid lead like this, Jesse, you find out, can you deliver the knockout punch?
And we're expecting them to come out here and just run the football, bleed the clock, let the big uglies up front get some push, and ball security, David. That's a premium.
Yes, take care of the football. Don't make any dumb mistakes.
Turning it on! An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. They've got it 1st and 10 at the 50. They'll run it to keep the clock moving. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Here comes the option. The pitch. Got the first down and still on his feet. Touchdown, Nittany Lions! Great job by the back on the option. With that score, it looks as if this bunch is about to go 6-1.
And it was so important for the offense to come up with a touchdown there and not kick a field goal. You're trying to put this thing out of reach. And that touchdown puts so much pressure on their opponent now with less than 2 minutes to go.
He'll try to tack on one more. And that extra point is a big one as they now have a 3-possession, 17-point lead in the fourth. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. Not a lot of hope here, down 3 possessions late.
No, and I love this part as a pass rusher because I'm just pinning my ears back, getting to the quarterback. I know it's a pass every single time.
There he goes. What a play to get it inside the red zone, and they are set up at the 17. Trying to get everybody set with the clock still running. They'll throw it from the red zone. Here comes the heat. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to fight another play.
And this is a tough spot for the QB, man. Like, he knows he's down big and has to make big plays down the field, but also got to be smart because this defense, you can tell, bringing in extra bodies, playing the pass, maybe take the dink and dunk, let your guys make some plays because they are definitely playing the deep end.
Oh, they're after him. And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26. Now 3rd and long, and trying to play catch-up in more ways than one after that earlier sack. The throw. And the 3rd down pass is incomplete.
At this point of the game in the 4th quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass, and they're putting a whole bunch of extra DBs on the field to help them out in coverage.
Well, look at this. 4th down and 1.5 miles, and the offense is still on the field. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll go to the sideline and try to make adjustments. The Ducks will try to convert on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Looking for the end zone. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. The defense making a play to put an exclamation point on this one, and that ought to do it.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long, and here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT, finally the defense makes a play, and David, it looks like they just closed the door on this one.
Well, and you know, Mr. Quarterback, defense wins championships. And how do you seal a game? The defense coming up with a big moment. Yes, obvious passing situation. You know they're going to throw it. The big INT, and that might seal their fate.
Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. Final minute. This game's on ice. They can take a knee and run out the clock.
This offense has to feel great with how they're able to go out, execute, and perform big plays all game long. I think it's sending a statement, too, to future defenses down the road on the schedule. They're going to be tough to contend with.
Yeah, I mean, they got firepower, putting up so many points. This thing is easily over. Now they can just chillax, go back to the locker room, know they're going to get the victory.
And the Nittany Lions with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. They'll run it. Knocked down in the backfield, and boy, this guy's had a good day, but they finally get to him on that run.
It's a great play there by the defense, stopping that run, but now with less than a minute to go, you got to use your timeout. You got to try and conserve as much clock as possible to give yourself a chance to win.
With the clock running, this should be the final play. The give to the left side. And they'll pick up just a few on this run, and that'll bring us to the end of the ball game. They get the W, and with that being win number 6, looks as if they're going bowling, guys.
And that's a good moment for this squad, right? Like, you start every season, you have big goals, and it usually starts with your conference championship and winning a national championship, maybe going to the playoffs. Everybody has different goals, but Getting to a bowl is always sweet, and this team's eligible now.
I know the coaches are really happy about this, the AD and the fans, because they know what it means for the program, right? You're going to get those 15 extra practices at the end of the year to help develop young talent, looking ahead to next season. But that's next season. There's still a lot of football left to go this year. Let's just see how good of a bowl game they can get to.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching.